here goes a nice 3-hour long trip. And a few hours later, I have arrived. So welcome back to another video. Today we are, or I am, at our other farm further down south. If you couldn't tell by the mountains. We are here now. They had finished harvesting cotton just the other week, or last week. So we are here now. We're going to be making a lot of land ready. Since we have pivots, I got a little implement right behind me. This is going to help to close some valley tracks. Since the pivots themselves, they make lots of ruts going around the field. We go over it with this thing, close the valley track just to kind of level it out a little bit. Makes it easier for whenever we want to plant wheat and also use our VT tool. So we're going to be working here for the next couple of days, or I'm going to be here till Wednesday. So we're going to be doing quite a bit of work around here. And here we have another truck driver about to pick up another load of cotton bales. So this right here is what we're doing right now. First off, I'll show you, since we had cotton stalks, we already shredded it all down. I'm coming back here with this thing. We're basically just called a valley track closer. So you have a trench in the middle where the pivot runs. Walk over to this pivot for you can see what I'm talking about. As you can see where the pivot drives, it always leaves a rut right in the middle, and they can get very deep if you leave them alone. So we're going over it with this thing, and as you can tell, it's making it very level, no more ruts, so leaving the field very smooth. And since these are the pivots we're using, talk about them a little bit. If you're wondering why we have this white pipe underneath and why we don't actually use the pivot, is because the water around here, it's not salty water, it's high in minerals. So if you pump the water through the pivot, it'll actually eat up the pipes, and then you'll end up with a broken pivot within a couple of years. So like this, you can save it a whole lot more. You just have underslings right here. It's regular PVC pipe. You just gotta connect it with cables to the top where it'll hold it. And then this is how we have to irrigate with everything. But yeah, I'm gonna get back to closing some valley tracks. And great thing about this is the fact that I can actually use my GPS on this. It just requires me to use circle track instead of straight track, and it'll just follow the valley track all the way around. So it makes my life a whole lot easier. I'm not being lazy, I'm just farming smarter. That's what it is. So I got a comment the other day that mentioned all this cotton that's left right here on the ground. It might look like a lot. Someone mentioned that it looks like there's a lot left on the ground and we should be picking it up. Well, it kind of looks like a lot, but it really isn't. If you would go pick it up, there's certain machines that you could probably use to pick it up, but any of that cotton left on the ground, you pick it up, you got all that dirt and trash among there. It basically is not really worth it because it just puts a lot more trash among the cotton, so you get terrible grades. You get very little money out of the whole thing. So that little bit of cotton that you might see here and there, like that little strip right there, a little bit of errors around the field and whatnot, it's really not as much as what you think it is. So that's why we just leave it alone. We don't worry about it. It'll be fine. But whenever we do harvest, we do try to do as clean of a job as possible. But sometimes things like that just happen. A little bit of cotton gets left on the ground. But it is what it is. Man, on this half, it's not nearly as dry. I guess because the pivot just was here recently. And now you can see a way clearer job of what's actually happening. It's just making it a whole lot more level than what it was compared to that valley track right there, which I guess you can't really tell it on camera, but it's there. Some of the fields are worse than this one, but you don't want to see the ones that are worse. They can get up to 3 feet deep, and we do not like that. So this is really nice. And if anyone was wondering how this thing works, it's pretty simple. Valley track goes here in the middle. You have these 2 big blades on each side. They'll get majority of the dirt, dump it over to the middle. You have a little packing wheel right here. This will pack the dirt as much as it can. And then you have another set of discs on each side. They'll kind of push a little bit of dirt all the way to the middle. And then you just got some rolling baskets in the back to kind of level it off. And then you have a smooth bed behind it. So I'm here on the last field that I'm going to do today with this valley track closer. And this field is actually quite bad. It has little divots everywhere and little hills on other places. The pivot, I guess, made little mounds everywhere, and it was being weird. We don't know why really, but it does. For instance, I don't know how well you can see it on camera, but right here there's a very big hole right here, and this valley track closer is not going to be able to fill that all the way. So we do have a scraper. I'm gonna go get that thing later, and then I'm gonna grab some dirt and fill up some of these holes, grab some dirt from the high spots and then fill in the low spots. So that's what I'm gonna do after I'm done here. But so far there's only like 4 or 5 spots, and I still have 4 towers to go. So I'm hoping that those 4 towers aren't as bad as these last 3 towers here. Just got it unhooked, and for some reason I feel like some of you guys are going to be curious as to what this thing is. Besides being an Orthman, that's about all I know about it. I don't know what brand it is, or well, I guess that is the brand, but I don't know what model it is, or I don't even know where we bought it from. But I know one guy introduced it to us because he thought we would like it, so that's why we bought it. You could probably look that up, maybe you could find something similar to that, but that's basically all I know about it. Anyways, gonna hook up the scraper now. Not this one, although that's what we use to level out some roads. I'm gonna use this one right here. I guess you could call it maybe a box blade, but it's just a scraper. So I'm gonna be able to fill up some dirt with this thing, level out a few areas, fill a couple of holes. Never ran this thing before in my life, so this will be a new experience for me. I don't know how it'll go, but I guess y'all will be able to watch me fail if all of a sudden I do so. So we'll see how it goes. All right, let's see how this will work. Now just to find a place where I can mount you guys. Let's see about that right there. How's that gonna look? All right, hold on tight. Okay, clearly that was horrible. I made a nice pile in front here. I don't even know how to really run this thing, but I'm gonna do some off-camera messing around. It seems like a lot of these cotton stalks that were and all this old wheat stubble, seems like that was kind of trying to clog it up. So I don't know, maybe I'll drive back and forth a little bit, see if I can maybe straighten this out a little bit. Looks like I made a little bit of a mess here, but a good thing it's not a long ways here. But I'll do some off-camera messing around and see if I can figure this thing out. Well, I fixed my mistake, but I realized one thing. This box scraper really does not like any sort of wheat stubble or cotton stubble whatsoever. It literally just takes the top layer of all the stubble, and it just piles it up onto one big pile, and then you don't get any dirt, you just get all the stubble. So kind of gotta just drive back and forth until, you know, you get some dirt, and you kind of gotta, I don't know, that's just what I've been doing, and so far I fixed my mistake. At least that's one positive. But yeah, so far it's working. Man, I should have had the camera on. You didn't see it, but right there was no wheat stubble or cotton stubble, and yeah, then it worked beautifully. Then it didn't pile up whatsoever. So right there, I did a really good job. One pass and I got the dirt that I wanted from there, because there was a little bit of a hill, but right there, it worked perfectly. So now I know, it just does not like the stubble. Dump in the dirt. It actually works pretty good once it works good, basically. Yeah, once I found a few good spots where there was a little bit more sandier dirt and not as much cotton stalks, then it seemed to work all right. But every now and then it still wanted to pile up, and I did not like that, but it seems to be working okay now. I think that's about as much dirt as I need to bring right here. Then I'm gonna go drive around more of the field, see if I can find more spots where I need to dump some more dirt. And I found another little spot. And that's gonna be the last of the dirt right there. And I believe once that's done, which it looks like it's empty now, that's gonna be it for this field anyway. If we find other fields that are just as bad, we're gonna do them too, but that's gonna be it for now. And that's gonna be it for today. Thanks for watching.